What is going on, my fantasy sports fans? Today, I'm going to talk about 12 players that I would not be looking to draft in 2025 season, as the 2024 season is pretty much over. Some of you guys have finished up your championships. Some of you guys are still in the playoffs, and some of you guys are mad at the other players who are in the championships or heading to the next level. So today, what I want to talk about is I want to talk about 12 players that I will not be interested in drafting in the 2025 season. Now, these 12 players, I'm going to give you three quarterbacks, three running backs, three receivers, and three tight ends that I would not be drafting in the 2025 season. If you're like me, you're out of some of the leagues that you're playing in. But I'm still in one league out of the three, so I'm 33%. I guess that's terrible. But I'm 33% in the leagues that I'm in. And there were some players that really did not step up to the plate. And so I'm going to talk about just three players for each position, each skill position that is, that I will not be looking to draft in the 2025 season. Now, some of these players I did not draft. However, their level of play this year has been terrible. So without further ado, check it out. I will be talking about fantasy basketball here pretty soon. I know that the season's been going on. I talked a little bit about it, but I will be talking about that as well. So if you play fantasy basketball, holla at me. Also, fantasy baseball. I do play fantasy baseball as well. There are three major sports that I play when it comes to fantasy sports: basketball, football, and baseball. So, with that being said, we're going to get back on the football tip because this is about football right now. And like I said, some of you guys are not playing football anymore. You're not worried about the leagues. You're only doing FanDuel and DraftKings or whatever else, Underdog, uh, all those other gambling areas like I do. So, like I said, first and foremost, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel. I talk about sports from basketball all the way to baseball. Hockey, forget about it. Anyways, let's keep it rolling because I do want to talk about the three quarterbacks first. And stick with me at the end because I will be talking about one player that I will never draft again. Ever, 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 ever. And this is a young player too. Anyways, let's get into it. Number one player, number one quarterback that I will not be drafting in the 2025 season is Anthony Richardson. Now, this guy was supposed to be in the top five in the league coming into the 2024 season. And what has he done? Nothing besides turn the ball over, not getting it to the key players, and really not showing the caliber of a quarterback that he's supposed to be. Anthony Richardson was one of the top players in the quarterback position this year. Actually, he was ahead of some of the quarterbacks that are at the top right now, like Jared Goff, like the dark horse, uh, Sam Darnold, who is the dark horse. He was ahead of Jaden Daniels. So that's a player that I would definitely not draft ever, whatsoever. Number two quarterback that I will not draft ever again is a player that had amazing seasons. Matter of fact, in the 2024 season, the 2023 season, Dak Prescott was the number three quarterback. The number three quarterback. And he's not anywhere to be found now because he's on IR with an injury. Dak Prescott has had some up and down years. He hasn't been consistent throughout multiple years of seasons. Either A, because he's hurt, either B, because his major players are hurt, and either C, he's playing for the Cowboys. Case in point. Plain and simple. Anyways, the last quarterback that I want to talk about that I'll be leery on drafting next year, and you guys post in the comment section what you think. But next year, the last player that I think that I will not be drafting is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is on a down year. He's on a down year, and he has been descending down since Tyreek Hill left. Why? I think it's because he lost Rashid Rice. He didn't have Hollywood Brown, and he's just trying to have to figure it out because Travis Kelce is not the tight end that he used to be. Travis Kelce is getting up in age. his body's been banged up. So therefore, he is not the type of caliber tight end that we've seen him be in the past. So Patrick Mahomes is another person that I will be leery on drafting come 2025. Now let's talk about running backs. The number one running back that I will not ever draft ever again is Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey last year, let's just say last year, he had a decent season leaving to go from the Carolina Panthers over to the San Francisco 49ers. And he did pretty well. However, Christian McCaffrey is injury prone. Every year, he's out multiple games in the season. And this year, he was out 6 games or so before we actually got some action from him. And guess what? He got hurt again. So we have to keep that in mind whenever we were wanting to win championships. And I was a failure this year because I had him drafted in a couple of my leagues. Number 2 is Nick Chubb. Now, I know that he was a late round draft pick, thinking that he was going to come back from injury and just light it up. But as we can see, he's done. I think his career is over. And I like Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb has been a player that has, always flashed with promises. However, his knees, his ankle now, his leg, he's just injury prone. That's the number 2 running back. The number 3 running back is Travis Etienne. Now, I've said about Travis Etienne before that he was not in the top 10 for me. I think in the beginning of the season, they ranked him at number 8 or number 9 or even number 7. He's not a player that I will be picking up in the 2025 season whatsoever. You can forget it. I might not even pick any Jaguars up, not even Trevor Lawrence. Brian Thomas, is a player that I may look into, but I would not pick up any Jaguars players, period. Case in point. Now let's talk about receivers. Receiver number 1 that I think is done, down season, whatever you want to call it, I think we might as well chalk it up, is Deebo Samuels. Deebo, he was once getting the ball in the backfield and also catching the ball. Deebo has not been utilized to what he needed to be this year, along with being injured, everything else. I will not be picking Deebo Samuels up. Here's another person that throw you for a loop. What's up with Tyreek Hill? Tyreek Hill, and I know I get it, Tua Tagovailoa, has been a player that he gets Tyreek the ball. This year, it's been like, where is Tyreek? Even when Tua got injured, Tyreek was not getting the ball, and he was not getting our scores, our points, and that hurt us in a lot of games. We would expect him to have a great game, and guess what? He has a terrible game. When they had the backup quarterbacks in there, he was having terrible games. So Tyreek is a person that I will be reluctant to get come 2025. Last receiver that I want to talk about in regards to it, and let me go over here to the receivers really quick and just let you know, because there are many receivers that I wouldn't pick up because I'll be hesitant to pick them up. Michael Pittman Jr. Oh my goodness. This dude was amazing last year. I mean, he was one of the top 10, 15 receivers last year. I will not be picking up Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, with the Colts defense, they should be throwing the ball everywhere. And Michael Pittman was a number 1 receiver, but not with Anthony Richardson behind the center. Now, tight ends. Let's talk about tight ends here. The tight ends that I will not be looking into picking up in the 2025 season, I'm going to give you 3, but I mean, the tight end seasons, every year, the tight ends is just a disappointment. I'm going to be honest with you, just a disappointment. But I will be hesitant to pick up Travis Kelce. Excuse me. I will be hesitant to pick up Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce has had a very down year this year. He's just not. He's banged up. He's pretty much ready to retire. I mean, if they win a championship this year, I can guarantee you that he's going to retire. Kyle Pitts is another one. inconsistent. Even with him having Kirk Cousins, getting the snaps and trying to throw him the ball, it has been a very rough season for him. So I will be hesitant to pick up Kyle Pitts. Now, David Njoku, he's continuously injured. We can't guarantee that he's going to play a full 17 season game or even a 15 season game. So he's a player that I wouldn't be thinking about picking up in the 2025 season. There are many more, but I wanted to drop off my 12. You let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know if you feel or think that these players, let me know if I'm wrong with some of these players for 2025, because it's going to be on to the next year. And trust me, the next year is going to come fast when it comes to the football season. But anyways, hey, I know fantasy sports. Go ahead and give me a subscribe. Post in the comment section what you think. And also, I like to have fun playing sports. I love playing the game. I love watching the game. But I'm also a person that loves to do fantasy basketball, football, and baseball. And with the football season being up, basketball's going to be coming. And I'm going to be talking about a lot of players on the basketball rosters. Then baseball. Anyways, I'm out of here. Peace out. And God bless. Deuces.